In this video, we're going to extend the canvas using the content-aware tools in Photoshop. We're going to make this shed look a bit better framed. We're not going to worry too much about the sky in the background. I think that's looking nice and blue there. We've got a little bit of the trees there, so it should extend it. We're going to see if we can get rid of that ladder nice and easily, and we're going to put a lawn around the outside. So now we know what we're going to do. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to go straight to the crop tool. And for the ratio, I'm going to stick it to the original ratio. And I'm going to extend it from the top here. And again from the bottom. So hopefully we're going to set that off better. We are adding quite a bit extra around this photo, so it might do something quite creative that we may not want for this, for example. So yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do here, I think, to tidy this up. Not really happy with any of this. I'm not sure what it's done with the ladder there. This one could be one of the longer projects to fix. So let's just do it bit at a time. So I'm going to use the square marquee tool and let's work on this first. And if we use maybe tree here, just to see if it'll add a tree into that section there to hide that bit of a mess. It's better, but still not right. So let's change it to hedge. Okay, that's looking better. Not perfect. We could see if we can get a window in this section here. This could look weird. Helps if I spelled window correctly. Let's see it. See how it comes out. We'll try it properly, shall we? No, it's really struggling with that. So we're going to go to that layer and we're going to hide it. And we're just going to do a little bit of repair work on that wall. Just get rid of that line and get it straight line down here. But I think we can edit that afterwards. So from here, I'm going to look at this section next. So we're going to have to flatten the image. And let's use the marquee tool to cut around the edge of this shed. I don't want any other building feeding off from it. And we're going to put hedge again here. What I love about this tool is it's so creative and it does all the heavy lifting for you. Okay, that's probably the best of the three. I'm not going to worry too much about doing anything else, so we're going to clear out some of that in the background to tidy it up. Okay, next up, let's have a look at this lawn. I'll try it with a patio to start with on this stand here, and then we'll put a lawn below, and if we can keep that step in, all the better. I've had really mixed results with patios. It gets the lines off sometimes. When you've got repeating patterns like that, it doesn't work as well. Yeah, we've got a mess there, haven't we? But that could work. We could maybe flatten this layer. Now we're going to select this once more. Now we've got a much simpler format. And now put stone. I bet it's going to put a giant rock there or something. Okay, I probably work with that, but I'm going to change it to stone patio. Sometimes it's just a case of rinse and repeat this process until Photoshop does something a bit better. Yeah, I think we can work with that. Maybe not perfect, but I can tweak the colors. See, we can edit that directly, so we can make it a little bit lighter. And then if I press Command U to go to the saturation, and we're going to desaturate it so it's not quite so red. And we've got something we can work with. There's just too much going on here. So this is where I'm going to flatten the image. And here we're going to just try the heal tool. So the spot heal tool, make that brush nice and big, and see if we can heal all of this section in one go. Not what I was after. Let's go with a smaller brush and just tackle some of these lines to start with. Okay. While we're at it, let's just cure some of this sky. Not perfect, but we're trying to do this quickly enough so we can get around most of it. Right, let's get our lawn in at the bottom now. So I'm going to go back to the marquee tool, bring it above this pattern here, bring it into the edge of this step, and we'll put our lawn in place. So we've got that on a bit of a slope. There's a step in here, but I think we can use the heal tool now just to tidy this up. So this is where I'm going to zoom right in, get a nice clean edge on our patio step. Yeah, actually, scratch that. Let's start again. I'm going to bring it in from here. So we're going to bring the height of our lawn up a little bit, and then bring it in along the front there. And I'm going to hold shift to add some of this to the section so it's not a perfectly straight line, because that'll look a little bit suspect. And just add that in. So now we've got that section there. Let's go to the close stamp tool. I need to get it with the shadow here to take the shadow line up first. Good thing with grass is because it's so textured, we can usually get it to blend quite easily. What we've got to try and avoid is repeating patterns. So we can see this bit here and this here. So this is why we just mix it up a little bit as well. And make sure we're not getting the shadows in the wrong place. And some of this longer grass here, I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit as well. Now let's zoom out and see how our lawn's looking. A couple of things. One is we can see that line's a little too straight there. That doesn't look realistic at all. It's fine when we're zoomed out, but let's get that right now while we're at it. So I could go with a much smaller brush here and just use that tool there just to blend it in. It's not as sharp as the edge actually would be, but I think we'll be fine. So I'm not after award-winning photo editing here. I want something that hides the sin, so when we zoom out, this looks like a nicely prepared photo. Okay, we're just going to see about this line here. It's looking a little bit suspect. Let's just heal that out. And let's tidy up this line in this wall here, see if we can blend that as well. Be nice to have had a window in there, but I think we'll be okay there with that edge there. And I'm going to tidy up the top of this hedge. Okay, we're nearly there. I'm just looking at this now. What else? We need to sort out the levels. Just double check I've got the image nice and flat. Yes, it is. So let's just pump a bit more light into it without burning out the whites too much. And then let's bring the shadows up a tiny bit as well. Give it slightly more contrast. Bit more saturation as well while we're at it. And then we got a photo that pops. I'm going to go to Filter, Sharpen Edges. It's already saved there as the last favorite used, just to give it a tiny bit more sharpness, especially when it's used on social media. And this corner here, if we can, I'm not going to sweat about it too much, but let's see if we can get some, maybe a flower bed or something in here underneath the hedge. It can come back with some really obscure results when we start putting new things into the photo. But it's improving bit by bit. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Let's make this a bit more colourful though. In fact, let's add a bit more onto the top there and bring it up a bit higher. Okay, we've got this entire section now. It's really not doing much there. I could nip over to run a quick Google search. Grab these ones. After something on roughly the same angle. I'm going to cut that out of there. Delete that. And we're going to move it down into the bottom here. Got a little bit of work to do to get this nice and fluffy. Is that the right word? Fluffy? Not sure. Let's try that. Okay, this is where I want to make the section a little bit darker. Take the saturation down a little bit as well, just because it's in a darker spot, so we're not going to have as much light coming onto them. And this is where I'm going to use the eraser tool. Just going to clean this up now. Okay, not terrible, not my best work. Not quite so light. We'll keep the saturation up. I think it was the lightness that was causing the issues. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So we're just adding that as a extra layer in here, just to finish it off. Definitely not my best photo, but again, if we look at the original and see how far we've come, we've extended this to a close-in shot that was taken in a little bit too close, and 20 minutes in, we've got a photo that we can use on social media. It's jarring, that flower bed in particular, for me, but again, when someone's looking at this for the first time, unless they're looking for issues, they're not going to notice it, and that's what we're after, is just setting it in the right scenario. What we haven't done is made this shed something completely different, which is where we want to avoid for this type of client. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll be back with another tutorial very soon. Cheers.